He was young, he was powerful, and he made enemies in every dark corner of government. This is not about grassy knolls or magic bullets. This is about what John F. Kennedy was doing before he died, the enemies he made, and the threats he posed to the people who actually run the world. This is Time Travelers Anonymous, where the past is not a theory, it is a warning. Let us begin in the early 1960s. John F. Kennedy is president. But he is not a puppet. He is not playing along. First, he takes on the Central Intelligence Agency. After the disaster at the Bay of Pigs in Cuba, Kennedy is furious. The CIA had lied. They dragged him into a failed invasion. They wanted him to approve full-blown military action. He refused. Kennedy vows to dismantle the CIA, not just fire people, break it apart. He says, quote, "I will splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds." That is not something you say lightly, especially when the CIA has run coups, assassinations, and black operations around the world. But Kennedy does not stop there. He also clashes with the Pentagon. The military wants war in Vietnam. Kennedy does not. He signs National Security Action Memo 263, an order to begin pulling United States troops out of Vietnam. He plans to fully withdraw after the election. That order is reversed days after his death, and then there is the Federal Reserve. Kennedy signs Executive Order 11110. It gives the Treasury power to issue silver-backed currency. In other words, real money, not controlled by the central bank. For decades, private bankers had run the show. Kennedy was challenging that system. He was putting monetary policy back under government control. Three major power centers, the intelligence community, the military-industrial complex, and the global banking elite. Kennedy took all of them on, and then he was gone. November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas, shots fired. Kennedy is assassinated. The world is shocked. The official story? A lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald. But even the House Select Committee on Assassinations years later would admit there was likely a conspiracy, more than one shooter, but no one was charged. The CIA withheld documents. The FBI altered evidence. Witnesses died mysteriously. Records were sealed for decades. So here is the question. If Oswald acted alone, why cover everything up? Why was Kennedy's brain never fully examined? Why were crucial files buried? And why, 60 years later, are thousands of documents still redacted? Because maybe this was not just a murder. Maybe it was a message. Do not cross the people who control power. Do not pull back from war. Do not threaten the system. Kennedy did all three, and history erased him. So what do we take away from this? That democracies are fragile, that presidents are not always the ones in charge, and that sometimes truth dies with the man who dares to speak it. This is Time Travelers Anonymous. Subscribe for hidden history, political betrayal, and the real stories they never wanted you to hear. Because in this timeline, he was not just shot. He was silenced,